Hi, this is Antoine Pellet again from 3C. Welcome back to our next session of Essential Guides, this time looking at digital transformation using Sharepoint. Today we'll have, once again, Andrew Buckles, who's our in-house expert, who will take you through some points and show you how to use Sharepoint to its full potential.
So guys, just going to run through a few bits today. Obviously Sharepoint is probably one of the bigger areas, if you like, within 365. So when you first log into Office 365, obviously you get your sort of home page. It's got all the applications on here. So let's move into Sharepoint. So just click on that there. Save a bit of time. I've already got the windows open. So, and then you land on kind of the page which has all your sites on and all that sort of stuff. So I picked the site I wanted, so I'm going to go for this one. And then into here, and then you would normally land on the home page. I've already got the documents open and we can dive straight in. So you can have sort of filing structures at your top level, and then we will have the documents behind there. So we're just going to jump into this one here. I've got a few documents within here already started. So when you're in SharePoint, firstly, you may have already worked on a document, perhaps offline, and SharePoint's obviously where you want to look to share that with clients. So if I've been working on a document, say I've just saved to my desktop or something like that, and I want to upload it to SharePoint, there's a couple of ways you can do that. So you've got the upload button here, upload file, and then you can just pick from your desktop and pick a document there. Or alternatively, you can also just drag and drop from the desktop. So I've just dragged this from my desktop here, and I'll just drop that one in there, and you can see straight away that's come in. So once you're in here, let's say hypothetically I've dropped this document in and I want one of my colleagues to review this document. So by keeping it live, we share it via SharePoint. So if you tick the document that you want to share, so you can either copy the link. So links generated there, I can click copy, and yes, I can post it into an email. Alternatively, you've also got the quick share button here. So at the minute, this is just people within 3C consultants, for instance, that could share that. And I might start typing a name. So let's type Antoine. You can leave them a short message. And then I would click send, and Antoine would receive an email. So within SharePoint, you can obviously work on documents online. So if I was just to click that open, it would open my document here. And I can work on this straight away, and you can see it's automatically saved there. So let's say as well I wanted to change the name of this document without having to go file, save as, all that sort of stuff. I can click straight in here and I can change the name of that document, and you can it tells you obviously where it's currently sat, and I can save it there. So just click enter, you can see the title's changed. And if I was to go back in and refresh this page, you can now see that the name's changed there. Alternatively, you can also click on the three dots and you can rename it there as well. So we're going to make that final, and we'll click rename there as well. Should you ever go into a document and perhaps you've overwritten something by mistake, you can click again on the three dots and go to your version history. And you can see here that there's 3 versions, and just simply by clicking on that blue link, you can actually restore back to an older version as well. So that's very useful. So one of the other things is when building up a filing structure, in the past we've had lots of different files, and actually it can be several clicks to get through to the document that we're looking for. So actually within SharePoint now, you may only need that top level file that just kind of separates some core areas perhaps of the business. But then once you're actually in here, you can actually add these columns of metadata, and you can actually give various different sort of titles to those columns, and you can give basically tags against the document. So let's just, for instance, say that these were tenancy documents within social housing. I might want to put a location column in there, and I could say that that's the tenant postcode. I would save that. And then actually, if I wanted to say that this document and this document were in such and such postcode, I would tick those documents, bulk edit properties, and I can actually enter my postcode. So you can all see where I live. And you can filter here. So you've got the filter. So I may say that I want to filter by postcode and all that sort of stuff. So it's really useful, especially when you've got a lot more documents than this. It's I want to see all the tenancy documents for M26TR. It'll hide all the rest, and you can see like that. And as I say, you've got loads of different stuff you can add in as well, and you can create your own. These are just obviously examples that have been set up by SharePoint. So if you ever needed to move documents or copy documents to multiple areas within SharePoint, so this is obviously in this 365 consultancy area, I may want to move this, so I could tick the documents that I wanted, and you've got your move to or your copy to buttons there. So let's say we're going to copy these, and then it gives you a list of different libraries. So I might want to move this, browse it. I'm going to move this to the 3C hub, stick it in the general, and then I could copy them here and click copy, and they would move over. Similarly with move, obviously the difference between move and copy, if I move them, they'll disappear out this one. Copy, there'll be a version obviously in each. Obviously, if you did need to share a document externally with somebody who's not in your environment, doesn't have access to your SharePoint, then you tick the document you want, and again you can download it from there. One of my sort of more personal favorite ones is if there's a document you're regularly using, you can actually pin it to the top. So again, this works really well if you've got lots of documents in a structure. You come in, this might have hundreds of documents, and your document that you're working on regularly is pinned to the top, and I can just click straight in there, and I can get to it much quicker. And to undo that, I can just unpin it there as well. Now, obviously, you know, when people are back, hopefully out and about working again normally, internet connections, while perhaps, you know, colleagues are out on the patch and all that sort of stuff, may be a bit hit and miss. So actually, let's say I've got a couple of housing officers that are going to actually visit some tenants. So they're going to visit the M20 postcode. They want to see the tenancy agreements, for instance, but they're not sure what their internet connections are going to be like, and if they're going to be able to connect and get those documents while they're out and about. So what they may do is you can actually sync. So if I was going to sync, so then if you go in, then your sync documents all sit here on your normal file explorer and can be accessed. So if I was to say I wanted to sync this whole folder, I'll click sync, and then they sync back into your file explorer here. So back into here. Another useful thing is obviously when we're working in a document online, everyone, you know, you can have multiple people editing it at once. Now perhaps you don't want that. So you actually have the ability to if you tick the document you want, you click on the three dots, you can actually check a document out. Now that still keeps it online, people can still view it, but it just locks it for editing. So actually nobody else could go in there and edit that document at that same time. Yeah, so you can see here, so if somebody came, you go, others cannot edit it, etc., etc. Now, obviously the important thing to do is not to forget that you've checked it out, and when you finish with it, you need to check it back in. So again, you just click on the three dots and you can check that back in. And you can add some comments. You may say, I've updated it, now you can review it, etc. Other things, again, if you have a document that's particularly important to you, you might want alerts when somebody else is planning to edit it, and you can actually manage the alerts in this section here. So I could say I want an email every time anyone changes anything within the document, or I might just want a daily summary or a weekly summary, etc. And that way, if somebody is starting to change your document and you didn't want that, you could quickly drop them an email and say, can you take a copy of that document rather than edit my particular version. So you can see there, I've just had an email now say that I've successfully created an alert for that document. So again, even if somebody accidentally deleted it as well, that's useful. If you do ever want to delete a document, you can just tick it, click delete. If you ever delete anything by accident, it will sit in the recycle bin. And creating a new document, you can create any of your types of documents from within here. You just click new and click Excel. Now, I know a lot of people are not massive fans of the online version of Excel. So actually, say you didn't want to use that, you can click this button here and it'll open it straight up in the desktop app. The functionality is pretty good in Word. It's pretty similar online as it is in the desktop app. Excel is a bit more limited online. So me personally, I do prefer to open that in the Excel in the desktop app version. Another thing, I've created this document. If I ever wanted to sort of lock down the permissions, perhaps it was something that had important information, let's say, relating to housing, maybe a safeguarding report or something that actually, not everyone needs to see. Again, tick the document and you can click on that little eye, and it doesn't look much like an eye, but it's more of a circle with a line through it. And then you've got the manage access. So by default, people within the team, so this has obviously got 5 members currently within this team, so you can see it's myself and 4 other people that have got access. But by default, if I didn't want those 4 people, then actually, I can stop allowing people to have access. I can change people to have read only, or I can stop them altogether and things like that. So that's really quite useful, particularly, as I say, in that scenario where maybe there's some sensitive information in there. So that's kind of that sort of thing. Obviously, if you're never entirely sure, so I know that it's in this area somewhere, this may be a huge filing structure, and actually I can't find a document. So then you've got this button here for searching that library. So I'm looking for a tenancy agreement. I know it's for M26TR. So I can click enter there. And again, because now I've put that metadata in there, the 2 tenancy agreements, for instance, would come up for that. And if I wanted to narrow it down further, let's say hypothetically, one of these houses had a slightly different name, so we'll search for final. And you can see, again, it comes up there. Obviously, there's a few other documents within this library that also have final. So if we go back into here, one of the other sort of things is you've got this quick edit button. Again, this is quite useful. And so you can actually edit in bulk quite quickly. Some of the details, etc. This gives you the ability to edit multiple files at once and stuff, and quickly add different columns and all that sort of stuff, which is useful, particularly if you were dumping a group of files at once and you wanted to add the metadata to quite a few of them. It sort of quickly puts it into these tables quite quickly, which is useful, and then you just exit that from there. Obviously conscious of time, I know we like to keep these quite short, so I will nip back to Antoine now.
Thank you again so much for everything, Andrew. Really great points. I keep learning every time we do these webinars, so free lessons for me, so that's great. So as we can see, you know, SharePoint really empowers teamwork. It quickly finds information when you're looking for it, and it has a seamless collaboration across the organization. So really good points to take on board. I'd just like to say as a final, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for your questions. If there are any more, please do send them to us. Hopefully we see you next time. Have a great day. All the best.